What are your numbers producing today? But then you look at pro forma. Does everybody understand what pro forma is? Pro forma is, what if we leased up 50% of our vacancies at X rate, and what if we had an interest rate of such? It's a what if scenario, a what if, that's your pro forma, okay? If we put this, what if we're able to reduce operating expenses and reduce budget by 10%? How does this property now look when you analyze it, okay? Your pro forma is just putting different projections in, okay? Usually based on the income side. But when I'm looking at pro forma, you could always do better on an asset if you save money on the expense side, okay? Because it's a pile of money, it's going somewhere. And if you could save money and you're collecting the same amount of income, your asset is better, okay? Next one. Marketing materials, documents. Folks, our world of marketing properties has gotten so much better. There are so many different software programs, companies have flyers, pamphlets, you fill in the blanks. You get to put things out there in different sources to market and advertise the property. LoopNet, CoStar, Globe Street. There are so many of them out there that we now have the opportunity to be able to get the help and market properties. It's called syndication, and they talk to each other. And I'm not the techie, but what happens in our company, we put our properties into our computer system in our software program, okay? So if I list a new, say, Walgreens, I put it into my system, okay? And once a week, our system uploads to all of these different syndications. So our property goes out there to the world within a week. Maximum exposure for our customers. We're getting the property out there instantly to millions of people that look at this stuff, okay? It's fabulous. It's a great tool. A lot of companies can't compete and do that because it costs money and it's tough. But that's one way of printing electronic advertising and property websites. It's phenomenal. So a lot of times people still are doing this the old school way, produce a PowerPoint, produce a Excel spreadsheet, put it all in a package it all together, make it look pretty. We do all of that, but then we put it on steroids, is the way I express that, okay? And we all want to create what's called, this is our sales package. Some people call it a sales package, some people call it an offering memorandum. You know, you'll hear somebody say at a hey, I see you got this building, send me your OM. Well, what's my OM? Your OM is your offering memorandum, your sales package, okay? It's a little bit of terminology, might be a little bit different in different markets. They may use other words. Has anybody ever heard of another term for an offering memorandum or a sales package? Brochure, flyer, prospectus. Sorry?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they call it the
prospectus, okay. And it might be just local. You know, people do different things. Folks, there is a tool called Real Capital Analytics. And at certain properties, if you're selling, it's easy. I don't want to make it sound real easy because everybody's going to go and do it, but I'm going to protect my turf here a little bit. Target of list of prospects. There are typical buyers for a lot of properties. If you have a property that is kind of a good investment property, you can find out who's active in the market buying those kind of properties. And when you do find that out, guess what? You then could send your property directly. Or you find out that company and you ask that company, who is your acquisitions director or who handles your acquisitions? And they then, guess what they do? Because they're in the business of buying properties. So guess what they do? They tell you. They say, that's John Clark. John Clark heads up our acquisition. If you have anything, you have to send it to John Clark. Hey, how about I get his email from you and his phone number? Guess what? They give it to you. It's wonderful. Now you have a potential buyer and you found it in the newspaper or you found it in a publication. And I'm going to say this, you may found it in a business journal or you may see something in your papers of who's buying properties. You go to those people, they may want to buy more. create lists of people that are buying properties, especially when you can focus on it. And that you're in a property type and you know who's buying retail properties. Boy, oh boy, they love hearing from you, because if you got a new property and it's a good one, they love hearing from you. And I have a list of about 10 of my preferred customers that every time we list a property, it goes to those 10 people first. I mean, here guys, new listing coming to the market. It's, you know, it's yours if you want to move on it, okay? Next one, please. Marketing the deal. New deal announcements. We do blasts. We blast out the new deals. We do a Monday morning, and I would encourage you to do this. If you go to www.svn.com, you can get an invite to our Monday morning calls. Anybody can do it. Listen into a couple of our Monday morning calls. We open it up to investors. We open it up to any buyers. We open it up to every broker. What we do that for is what? Why do we do that? It's exposure, folks. We want the world seeing our clients' properties because we never know where the buyer is going to come from. So some of these companies, they don't show people their properties. Why not? Anybody know? The top big 5 companies don't have this. We're number 6 in the US. The top 5 don't do this. Why not? They're selfish. They're self-serving. They want to double end the deal. That is the, I'm just telling you. That's it, straight up. They want to double end the deal. They don't want to split their commission with another broker. We have a policy. If you have a listing over $1 million, it has to go on our Monday morning call. It has to. And you have to split your commission 50-50. Now, who are we looking out for? The seller, our customer, the people we're supposed to be, not ourselves. A lot of brokers just look out for themselves.